Hello, and welcome to yet another video from your favorite video producer ever in the world, ever, eternity. Naza Bitcoin. Today, quickly, I'm going to do this is in front of my room. It's a $6 a night room, $6 US. I'm going to make this video very fast, very quickly, because I'd like to introduce some of the accoutrements, the necessities that one would need to go on a bike trip. And had someone ask me about being specific about the bicycle things I need. So this is a $6 night. I'm sure there's no there is hot water. There's a hot water machine there. And so this is my $6 room. Okay, so quickly, I'm just going to do it fast because I was up all night, and man, it's beautiful here. This is the $6 night room. This is where you smoke your paraphernalia. This is your bike. Okay, so quickly about the bike first. Just get any comfortable bike. This bike was used. I bought it the day before I flew to Vietnam, and it was $150 US or something like that. I added this rack, this bike rack. So the rack is separate from the bag. This is the bag. I'll just lay the bag there. So you see the rack. The rack clamps onto the bicycle seat post. This is very important, very useful for warmer countries. And this is a bag that Giant makes from Taiwan. And it's just a one-piece bag. It's both panniers, so it's two sides, one handle in the middle, so you can put things on top of it and put things inside both pockets. It carries quite a bit. It's a very spacious bag. You got both sides of the bag. Okay, so sometimes you can just, if you don't have a bike and you want to buy a used bike in the country and you don't want to ship the bike, which is sometimes a good idea, then I would recommend you bring this rack and this bag. Now, you will need a heavier duty, larger, more heavy duty, more sturdy rack if you're going to a cold climate country, because you'll need to bring more with you, which I don't recommend. You know, actually this should be sufficient because you can store your day pack on the front of the bike. Now here on the front of the bike, this is just an average mountain bike, nothing special at all. It's just comfortable. This is a Shimano gears, real simple, probably late 90s. I mean, this thing is it's not an expensive bike whatsoever, and I don't think anyone needs an expensive bike. I've ridden them. When you travel, take things with you that you don't mind losing, okay? Still have not made it to Dalat. I'm about 25 kilometers away from Dalat. Came from Nha Trang, and speaks for itself. Okay, so this is a bicycle clamp. This is a clamp that I had ordered for me from Australia. You can find it online rather. There are various types of clamps, and the back of the phone, it's a phone case that clamps onto this, and you just press it down and turn it a bit, and it clicks into place. And then to remove it, you just pull up here, pull that upward, and then twist the phone slightly, and the phone comes with you. So what I do is I keep a battery charger here, keep the phone posted right here on this thing, and so that's for watching the phone and listening to it and looking at maps and so on and so forth, like your little TV set, right? And then here, this is something I bought for $1.50 in Nha Trang, and you can get this just any little Chinese shop, and that's it's a clamp for your phone, so you can put the phone on there, and you can stretch this, and it holds it in place, so you can. That's how I record the Mother Bitcoin videos, from this clamp. This thing, I just put some strap ties here, a la like Neil Aldridge would do, 2 strap ties there, And that's it. You can adjust it, you know, and that's the beautiful thing about that. So you can hold the phone panoramic view, and you could clamp the phone on here for your viewing pleasure. Now on the front of the bike here, I also put my day pack. When I say day pack, what I'm talking about is my bag, my daily use bag. Just like any kind of little sack like this. You don't want something heavy. When you buy a backpack or a bag, you don't want something that's just the bag itself is heavy. This is all this is. One of these day packs, an Adidas day pack with these heavy duty strings. You want a good quality. This shouldn't cost you more than, you know, $20 US. This mounts, I tie it to the front of the bike there. I don't know if you can see that. I just spin the strings around the handlebars, and you can store things in this. And this bag is where you keep all of your most important items, okay? Your most important items, your passport, your wallet, just your most vital object. And you never, no matter what country you're in, you never take that out of your sight. You always have that on your person at all times. Have the bike stolen, it's replaceable. Have everything's replaceable. That bag and your passport and your cash, and bring a lot, is not. So then I bring 2 pair of shorts or 1. I recommend these Columbia shorts. Lots of stories to tell and as to why. Lots of pockets, very useful. Okay, so here we have the spare tube. You have tools here. This is a rain cover for the pannier. So this covers that from the rain. This is a tube for lining the tire for your tube. That's another one. You always need tape. Just when you get to the country, buy some simple tape like this. Why? You'll need it, trust me. Even to cover windows with too much lights coming in the hotel room or whatever. You'll need some tape. Just always have that thick, this type of tape right here. You don't need duct tape, just get this. This is fine. Very cheap. Some mentholatum, just stuff for your lips, okay? Then you need a bike helmet. You got your bike helmet. And you've got tools. Now the tools I bring, some of the things that are very important to bring: an extra headlamp. I bring 2 different types of headlamps. I bring lots of these Velcro straps. These Velcro straps, there's a small version and a large version. I know not everyone in Mother Bitcoin will care about this video, but here's a small version of a Velcro strap. It's vital, very important. And then the larger version, a thicker Velcro strap right here. Okay, so these 2 things are essential. You need a hacky sack or 4. You need some Krakatoa cigarettes, just in case you're a junkie. This right here is interesting. I'll introduce you to him. He has a very interesting name. I found him on the road. There were a lot of dead rats on the road, but this thing, he sits right on the front of my bike. Yeah, and his name is Sumo Buns. He's a mixture of stinker buns and sumo mo. So I mount him there on the front of my bike, and we have long conversations, he and I, about all kinds of subjects. He's very well versed in Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. So that's Sumo Buns. And there will be people who watch this video who knows what that is. Sumo Buns. 1 pair of shoes, not 2. 1 pair of shoes on your bike when you travel, and some tiny thin flip-flops. That's all. I don't even have the flip-flops. I'm just using the shoes and rubbing alcohol on my feet. You need a tent, a small tent. That's a 1-man tent. It's 1-person tent, very light. Now this, you put this right here on the back of your bike, right there, and you use that thick strap that I just showed you. This strap that on there. This here, this black bag here, that is what you bring your bike to the airport in. All it does is cover the bike. It doesn't zip up. It's just an open bag, and you can put a bicycle in there. It's really thin material. You can sleep on it in the sand. It's very useful for everything. You can see how dirty it is. I dirtied it up. But just this little bag, you know, this thing should cost you $20 US or so, not much more. It's just a little light bag. It's very light, not thick. Get the light one and just cover your bike. And when you ship your bike in the airport, you take the wheels off the bike, right? You take the wheels off. And again, you use these little straps. They're very important. And you strap the wheels onto the side of the frame. And then you cover that all with that bag right there. That's what you do. Okay, another vital thing is gloves. You have to have a nice pair of gloves. Always have a nice pair of gloves. If you're a man, you need to shave. That's nothing. You need this. This is like a coat, like just like a mask that you can cover your neck and your mouth with. I have two. They're very light. They cost like $1 US in Taiwan. I have two of them. Socks, I bring socks and I throw them away as I use them. Eventually I'll have no socks. So a hoodie, you need a light hoodie. I use this almost every day. I cut holes in this so my thumb comes out of this hole. And I have one on this side too. You need one pair of sweats. One pair of sweats, okay? Now, those are slightly warmer. These are a light pair of sweats, just the thinnest material you can imagine. These things are so thin and they dry so fast. So if you have a choice between the thicker material, and the thinner material, bring the thinner material only. But I decided to bring, and I was glad that I did, one slightly thicker material. And this is an Under Armour, one of those light Under Armour shirts. So that's it. You've got a spare tire. You need a spare tire. Now this spare tire goes underneath the tent. Like this, goes like that. And these two items gets wrapped in the black bike bag. And that's the same bag you ship your bike in. Now I recommend when you're going on a massive bike ride, right, like I'm doing right now, and I want to get from Asia to Europe, then I'm gonna store this bike. I'm not going to fly this bike back to Taiwan. It's just a used mountain bike. And that's why you buy a used mountain bike, as long as it's comfortable. I looked at this thing and I knew right away. I rode it once. I said that, you know, I could tell this would be sufficient. It's got just regular mountain bike wheels on it. You want about that thickness of tire on it. You can see how thick this is. Not very thick, but not too thin. It's got a good hub on it. It's just a very average, common bike. It's comfortable. It's like an old Toyota, you know, it just works well. You need 2 drink racks, of course, for extra holding your water. You need a couple little bike flashers and the seat. Now the seat, I can kind of deal with pretty much any seat, but some people are real particular about the seat. I took this seat off another bike I had and I mounted it here. And I got an extra long seat post because this seat and this seat post is carrying a lot of weight because it's carrying my body weight, and as well it's carrying the pannier, the bag, and the tent and the spare tire. Lastly, don't forget a little helmet. Bring a helmet. You got your tube. I'll say quickly about the tools, right? This thing here is a pump. This little thing. Look, my hand covers the whole thing. This is a bicycle pump. Opens up. I even have extra tools in here. You spin these two things together. This is in the middle, and that's how you pump up your tire. And you've got some little Allen wrenches and so forth that fit in this. This came separately. I just keep it in this bag. This is a spoke tension wrench. So if you whack your wheel really hard, you can true it. If you need to, you might need a little practice with that, or I can show you. Now this here I keep in here too. It's another tool. It's just a tree cutter. And it cuts trees and branches. It's a wire cutter. So if you want to make some firewood or something, it's got all kinds of uses. You grab either end and you saw it. It's a little mini hand saw. And all these tools fit right in here. Essentials, baby powder, absolutely essential. You always have to have this. Don't get a container too big. Get it about this big. Use it every day on your ass and on your legs to avoid any rashes and so forth. This is essential. Also rubbing alcohol, which is, I use container this big of spray rubbing alcohol. You always need that. Couple little aspirin. I never take aspirin, but just have some just in case. And then just, you know, little tiny little things that we all personally need. Here is you've got the little tools necessary to take. This is a patching kit for a tube. So it just sits here in this bag. Some extra bags, little plastic bags in case of a rainstorm like last night. Always bring 2 of these headlights. Make sure to have batteries after you use batteries, your headlight for, you know, 2 or 3 full days. You'll need to switch the AAA batteries. In here, more tools. Let me show you. This is definitely a guy video. I don't think the girls will probably hate this video. But there's just some tools, different types of tools in here. This is how to take you need at least 2 of these. Is helpful to get the tire off the rim. And I've got a little Leatherman in here. It's like a Leatherman type thing for bicycles. And all the glue for patching, you know, the tube. If a tube pops, you got an extra tube and you have a heavy duty tire. Right there, you got your heavy duty tire. Here is a universal plug, so no matter what country you're in, you have a plug. And this, as you can see, this is a universal plug. So anywhere, it has even the names of the countries there. So you always have, it's also got a USB outlet here. So you have extra plug-in. Power is necessary. You're gonna need a lot of power. And you need, you'll need those power banks they sell, you know. So here's some more baby powder. Just small little accoutrements, little tweezers, little Bromer soap. I always keep Bromer soap, a shaver, extra dental floss. And yeah, that's some tea tree oil.